Hey everybody, Backpack Hack here coming at you with another trail tip. And a couple of weeks ago I threw up my review of the Zebralight SC600Fd IV Plus. And unfortunately, in going through some of my files, I noticed there were some things about the flashlight that I wanted to include in that video, but missed them. So instead of simply redoing the entire video, reproducing it, re-uploading it, deleting what was there, because you can't replace them on most platforms online, you have to simply delete it and put up a new one. It'd be kind of messy to do. So I thought an easier, quicker, and simpler way to do is to do an addendum to that. And so I'll link to both videos, each to each other, in the description below. So this is not a full review. The quote-unquote full review I'll put in the description below, and you can go watch that as well. But one thing I missed was the beam spread. And beam spread is how the light is distributed across where it is throwing the light. To me, a floodlight is a circle of light that the light is homogeneous. It's equally bright all across that area. A spot, of course, is simply a narrow beam that the light is thrown out, and that is not what this flashlight does. It's not a thrower. There are some companies that make what is called a hot spot, where there's a narrow bright spot and then a ring of light. Let's say that center part is like 70% of the light is in that area, and then you have a dimmer donut or ring around that area that contains the other 30% spread out over a wider area. This, however, is what's called a floodie, and it's caused by a combination of both the orange peel reflector as well as the frosted glass that is on the front of this. And so it does have a bright center, but it gradually diminishes as it gets further and further out from the center of the beam. So it's a very natural, very comfortable beam to use, because with that center brightness, you can get a little bit of throw to it. In fact, I've taken it out on dark nights and I can see 400 or 500 feet sometimes with that center brighter area. But still, you have plenty of light around the perimeter of that beam spread to be able to see with. So it's a very natural, comfortable beam spread to work with. So it's somewhere between a flood and a hot spot. I didn't talk about the body either, the actual physical flashlight itself, other than the dimensions. It's made out of premium aluminum, is what Zebralight has on their website. They don't say it's aircraft grade, they just say it's premium grade aluminum stock. So I don't know if this is actually aircraft grade or whether it's just a fancy term for a better grade of aluminum. It is anodized. They say it's type 3 class 1. What that means, I have no idea. That's what they have on their website. And the glass is tempered glass. So I suppose if you hit it just right or hard enough, you could crack it or break it. But the body, it has a very fine knurling to it. And that helps when the flashlight is wet. It gives you a little bit better grip. There are a couple of indentations along each side, opposite sides, at a 90-degree angle to the button. I don't know what those recesses are for, but I find this to be a very comfortable flashlight to, in the middle of the night, if it's totally dark out and it's middle of the night, I can pick this up and I can easily find this button. Unlike my FD40 from Phoenix, which to me doesn't have a very tactile button. I'm constantly picking that up in the middle of the night trying to find it. This flashlight I can just pick up right now and put it in my hand, and I know where I'm going to have the button. It also helps the fact that I've got the clip physically attached to the lanyard ring connection to keep it from turning on me, because this way I can, without even looking at it, I know my thumb is right there over the button, just by the location of this clip. Now that's me. If you don't have that clip physically restrained like that, it could be anywhere. So you can't use the clip to determine where that button is. The head itself has these ridges, and I don't know whether those ridges are just there for looks. I don't know if they have a function other than possibly they're a heat sink for the LED, because this thing does put out a lot of light, 1816 lumens, and so these ribs might be a heat sink to help dissipate some of that heat. As I stated in the other video, you press the button once, it comes on for me low, which is the factory high, because I've reversed the settings. I want this flashlight to come on low. So one click will put it on low, 2 clicks will put it on my high, which would be the factory low, or you can just press and hold it for about 1 second or so, and you will get medium. Or you can just press and hold it and it will cycle through all 3 settings. And the last thing I missed is the comparison in size with the Olight S1 Baton. A lot of people are getting that flashlight, and I agree, it's a great flashlight. But it just didn't meet some of the specifications that I had for myself. So if in case you're wondering how this flashlight compares to the Olight, if you simply remove the head of this flashlight, you're awful close in dimensions to the Olight S1 Baton. The diameter and the length of the body of this flashlight is very, very close to the Olight Baton. So that is my quick little addendum to the Zebralight SC600Fd IV Plus review. Again, if you want to see the quote-unquote full review, go to the link in the description below, and I'll link to both the videos in each other. So this is Backpack Cat coming at you with this trail tip. Be safe out there, and I'll see you out on the trail.